let this get warmed up here. Figure out what it's going to do. Is it going to be a live or is it going to be a fake start? And it should be starting any second now. All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would do a live for you guys. Let me give you guys a forearm shot before we get started. Veins are on point today. Gonna link the Facebook page if you guys and gals will follow it there. All right, I'm gonna briefly cover a topic, and then as people trickle in, I will answer your questions. Please remember to click a like for those of you as you come in here. Remember to follow the Facebook page. And let's get this started. I had some people ask me in the last couple lives, they were like, would you ever consider a collab or a podcast or something with Alex Leonidas? You guys bury the hatchet. You both have grown and matured as people. You both put out good content. You have a lot in common in terms of your philosophies for training and some nutrition and everything. And I think that's a reasonable question. And here's the thing. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Realistically, I feel like that was a really silly old grudge when he was a younger, immature kid. I was going through my own phases. And truth be told, I don't have any beef with Alex. The stuff I used to have issues with, he has moved way beyond. He's matured as a lifter. He's matured in terms of his knowledge, his information. And as far as I can tell, by and large, the information he puts out these days is pretty good, it's pretty reasonable. I don't see him scamming people with scam products. I don't see him promoting anything like that. Yeah, I would absolutely be willing to put that completely in the past if he would. I mean, he may not be able to. He may say, if you're blah, but whatever, dude. At the end of the day, he's a good lifter, putting up heavy weight, great physique, pretty good information. Right. So, what more is there to say on that? Again, if you guys could click the like, right? There's multiple people commenting, but only one like. Come on, give some likes, guys. And remember to follow the Facebook page. All right, let's get over to questions and comments. By the way, guys, I did turn the 60-second timer off on this one. So if you guys want to ask questions sooner, you can get away with it. And I'll just get rid of trolls as they show up. We just deal with them fast. My back says Alex stopped the virgin to himself phase a long time ago. At least he doesn't pimp himself. But exactly, right? All that nonsense is in the past. The above the knee rack pulls, the weird odds, all that stuff's gone. The guy does a lot of heavy basic stuff. Look, he pushes heavy benching, heavy inclines, pull-ups, deadlifts. And then appropriate accessory work just for hypertrophy and aesthetics, right? He pushes progressive overload. He progresses strength. He progresses aesthetics. He promotes people eat very clean diets. I don't have a problem with the plant-based. I think most people would do well to eat mostly plant-based, right? Again, realistically, yeah. I wouldn't have an issue with it. And then Marco says, Alex collabed with Vegan Gains recently. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I didn't see it though. Eugene says, hello, good sir. How's your day going? It's going pretty good, man. Streams early today. Do you have plans later this evening? I don't discuss that. But yes, this is definitely early. This will be done shortly after 5 o'clock my time. Yeah, I'm aware, but I don't know that he's necessarily going to promote all their antics, and again, his outreach and growth is way bigger than theirs. He could totally separate himself from all that easily. My back says, I guess I can have some sympathy for him. He didn't have a dad in his life who could show him that being short as a man is okay, probably hurt his confidence growing up. We need dads. Yeah, and I think that's a valid point, guys. That's a valid point. We see that with a lot of young men. They don't have a proper dad. They don't have a masculine male role model. And then it creates issues, and it takes them longer to mature and come into their own, right? But it seems like looking in, it seems like he has, from what I can tell, he has finally matured. He's come into his own as a man, and more power to him. Eugene says, is pump important? I don't know that the pump's important. We could argue about it. I like getting a pump. A lot of people feel it's important. I don't know that there's direct evidence of it. By the way, there's more of you commenting than there are who click likes, man. You guys got to learn to engage, man. You guys got to learn to engage. Eugene, my answer to your relationship question is to hire me as a coach. That is the solution to all relationship problems. Okay? I need to be clear on that. You can ask, but that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, get a consultation booked with me. Let's get a professional relationship going, and it'll all be fixed. That's my answer. But go ahead and ask it, but I'm just telling you right now what the answer is going to be. Hire me as your coach, and a line of women will just line up to suck your dick. Guaranteed. All right. There's your solution. My back says, do you think he gives exceptional lifting advice? I don't know that it's exceptional. Okay. It's pretty good. And that's good enough, right? When there's so much bad advice, pretty good is good enough. He gets it close enough, and he hammers the basics down pretty well, so I don't see an issue there. Yeah, Omi, can we quit talking about that whole crew, man? Like, we don't need to just keep bringing them up over and over and over. All right. Omi says, you should list relationship coaching in your training package. It seems like there's a lot of people needing this service. You may see a lot of new clients with it. Maybe. I don't know that it would be a real service, though. It would just be giving them workout advice. The relationship solving is a side effect. See, that's how it works. Which is kind of stupid. I don't know why people are over here asking me for relationship advice. I don't get it. Maybe they should go hire like a relationship psychologist to help them sort through their issues. All right. But you know what, guys? If we don't get some likes, I'm just going to shut this down. There's more of you asking questions than there are clicking the like button. You're clearly not interested. All right. Eugene, my question. Okay, Eugene, let me ask you a question. Why would you think that it's appropriate to ask me, a strength coach, graphic questions about your relationship and your personal stuff? It sounds to me like you have mental issues that maybe you should talk to a therapist if you think that it's appropriate to discuss that with a YouTuber and strength coach. You see what I'm saying? I think the problem with your relationship is that you might be kind of a weirdo. Based upon this engagement here, it sounds like you have some deep-seated psychological issues that perhaps a therapist could help you with. You see what I'm saying, bro? Because you're typing all this in a strength coach's live stream. Maybe talk to a therapist. But you are crazy. Think about the engagement you just had here. And I'm just saying it is. It is what it is, dude. We all have our issues. Marco says, bench press downs versus cable tricep press downs, which would be a better choice? For what purpose, Marco? You need to be specific. What is the goal? Is it to help your tendons or is it to build your triceps? If it's to build the triceps, I'm going to go with the cable. If it's to build your tendons, the bands by an enormous metric, like no debate. So be specific. Helena says, hey, coach, do you recommend a full day of just liquid diet? There is no such thing as a detox. It's completely made up nonsense. No, I would never recommend a day of just liquid. Why? No. God, no. You must be new here, but that's okay. This is an interesting point. Even though both Richard and Alex may not have revolutionary advice, at least they do very well in certain areas. Richard fights against saturated fat, Alex with physique. Yeah, I mean, so they have that. And you have to take that on its own merit. Giuseppe, no, dude, you're not going to be involved with my clients at all in any way, ever, for any reason. I don't care what your explanation is. Absolutely not. You will not be my protege. You will not be my employee. You will not have access to my clients. Ever. Let's just get that clear. All right. Eugene says, how many years will it take me to double my arm size? From a ranked novice? I don't know. How long is a piece of string? All right. Omi, obviously, I'm still doing sled work. All right. Zinovich says, good to see you today, Coach. Well, good to see you too. Good to see you too. Okay. Mystic Core says, I doubled my arm size in 3 weeks after eating. No, you didn't. All right. Do you agree that Martin Berkman was ahead of his time and never got his recognition he deserved or even wanted? Ahead of his time? No, a lot of his ideas they weren't revolutionary. You need to understand, Martin recycled some older stuff. Now, did he get the recognition he deserves? No, I don't think he fully did. Mystic Core, there's not a snowball's chance in hell I'm going to eat raw meat or promote eating raw meat. Sorry. Giuseppe, I don't think you understand. I said no. Last warning. All right. Do you think Liver King has any good points related to diet? The stuff he eats is rare. In fact, no. There is nothing sane or intelligent about the Liver King's dietary advice by any stretch of the imagination. Marco says, I started drinking electrolyte drinks before training and I feel my performance improved. Is that placebo or is it probably, you could have just been dehydrated? Quick tutorial on how to do a cable Y press. A what? My back said, is there evidence that some people can handle higher amounts of meat better? I believe you said that meat aggravates your face. Saturated fat does, like too much saturated fat in general. It's not the meat, it's the really high fat content meat. Okay, Mystic Core. All right, we're not going to promote raw meat on my channel. You have to go. Bye. All right. Giuseppe, I can appreciate that I may be your idol. I can appreciate that, but you're still not going to be my employee or protege. You don't understand how many people ask me stuff like that, and I tell them a lot less politely than I just told you no. Your jaw will drop if you see some of the stuff I type back to some of them people, because it kind of pisses me out. Me, that's normal. People's faces get red sometimes when they lift. My blood pressure is normal. Eugene says, thoughts on a diet of 90% meat and 10% veggies and fruit. I think that sounds really stupid and unhealthy, and I'm not going to advocate it. What do you think of canned sardines and brine as a protein source? That sounds disgusting. Marco says, are lean meats bad for you? Still like chicken breast? Marco, I feel like maybe you're not understanding. Saturated fat in excess is bad for you. It has nothing to do with it being meat. That's not the issue. So the question I would ask you, how likely are you to get excessive amounts of saturated fat from chicken breast? Like how many pounds a day would you have to eat? Like 10 pounds, 20 pounds? I'm going to say eating 20 pounds of chicken breast a day might be kind of bad for you for a whole lot of reasons. Okay. So again, we need to be clear. It's nothing to do with it being meat. We're talking saturated fat content, and chicken breast is a lean meat. So therefore, quantitative is what you have to factor in here. Xenofit says, is PubMed a good source of studies? Yes, obviously. My back says, does the bar make contact with your shins on a deadlift? Mine doesn't. It stops right before the knee. Mine generally does not. I barely miss the shins. Even when you see me pull 600 plus, I do not make contact with the shin. If I do, it's very briefly. Maybe close to the knee, a little, maybe a minor soft contact. Giuseppe says, Coach, does a carnivore diet turn our blood into butter? Objectively, no. It will elevate your LDL. But that doesn't mean it turns into butter. Okay. Wad said, thoughts on the pause at the stretch position during an RDL? I guess you could. I don't think you necessarily need to do that. It's a stretch position movement. You may want to use that stretch reflex to, hit your hamstrings harder. But in theory, you could pause. I mean, if you wanted to, if you felt it more, right? No problem with it. Eb says, thoughts on a lifting dermatologist? I don't know what that means. All right. My back says, optional question. Do you think one of the reasons so many people think Michael Ahern is on trend is because he always has a permanent tan? So people think it's a trend. A what? A trend tan. I've never heard this before in my entire life. And I've been in the iron game a long time. That's a new one. Eugene, how often should I change my rep range? There's no set number for that. Thoughts on Dorian Yates' style of training? I train in a way similar to some of it, right? My own training right now is slightly based on some of that. Giuseppe, you know the rules. You don't get to ask questions about my personal life. That's it. You're gone. All right. You guys know the rules. All right. Coach could mentor Alex on the deadlift, and hopefully Alex would humble himself and receive wise advice. Eb, I'm going to let you delete that comment since you're a paying member. Marco, do you still recommend pausing all reps on bench press, or soft touch and go is also fine as long as not bouncing? Yes, I say that all the time. You haven't posted new Warhammer paintings. I'm doing Warhammer. I haven't had as much time or whatever to paint lately, so I haven't put anything new up. All right. Eve says, thoughts on Doc Hank? I don't know what that means. Sorry. Doc Hank, is that a supplement? Is that a person? I don't know what that is. Sorry. It's a new one to me. All right. Back, I'm not going to answer that. I'm just going to leave it alone. So let's get to some actual training questions and things of value. Geronimo, it's because I have stalkers. That's the problem. Therefore, I keep my private life completely off the internet, 100% in every way possible. Maximum. I'm not going to do any gear questions ever again for now. Sorry, including even answering stuff like that. We don't run a gear talk channel. And you're looking for really, I mean, realistically, you're asking how long is a piece of string? Because people don't understand there's enormous genetic variations in those things. Absolutely massive genetic variations. Okay. So there is no, hey, what will X do to you in Y amount of time? All right. Eb says, would you consider calling who? You said Doc King. Eb, here's the problem with your question. I told you I've never heard of this person. So why would I consider calling someone out who I've never heard of and I'm not interested in knowing about? Geronimo says, what are started rock songs to learn in the guitar? Can you show us some of your favorite riffs? You've already seen me play stuff, guys. I've got quite a bit of training footage up. All right. Captain says, I've done very little weight training, excluding pull-ups and physical labor job in the last 2 weeks due to illness. Should I lift the same weights before I got sick? Well, you're going to find out when you get to the gym, you're probably going to be a little weaker. So the answer is going to be no. Do what you're capable of doing for the same rep ranges. It will probably be slightly lighter. Wad says, in what way has people like Dorian influenced your current training style? Is it the intensity since you seem to have it all figured out? Yeah, largely just moderating volume, taking sets, kind of the limit, doing a little bit of rest pause. All right. Eugene says, how to get my girlfriend into the gym. She has gained weight and I'm not attracted to her anymore. I can't get it up. Eugene, I just told you, man, I'm not answering your, here's your answer. Hire me as a coach and it will fix the problem. $300 a month. I expect to see an application or I'm going to block you. All right. That's it. All right. Straightforward. Because then you're not willing to go to the solution. You're asking the questions and you're not accepting my solution, which is to hire me as a coach, which I told you is the answer to all relationship questions. All right. Omi says, do you have specific training goals or milestones by end of the year? Not necessarily. Not on the lifts themselves. I have physique goals. Limit says, do you think NoFap is good? No, I think it's completely useless. I think there are no hormonal or training benefits at all to NoFap. I don't even think there's mental benefits to it, to be honest. Marco says, is Dorian Yates a really good example considering he has so many injuries? I've discussed that in detail, and it really was the gear that I think is the biggest factor. Geronimo says, apparently Chuck Basher is getting sued by a group of people who invested in his crypto, and now he can't get their money out. You already know he's crazy. Eb, I don't answer PED questions. Eugene, yes, you can hire me for the consultations, and I'll be happy to discuss that with you. But I expect to see a message and ready to pay for one today on the Facebook fan page to my DMs. Right there. All right. My back says, when will the full beard? I'm growing some out right now. I haven't shaved it in a couple of days. Just my neck has been shaved. Eb says, thoughts on bath mate. Is that something they serve at Denny's? Bath mate? Again, I don't know what that is. I'm about to sound like a pimp named Slickback. What is that? Is that something they serve at Denny's? Homies up for hoes. Eb, I'm sorry, man. You ask a lot of words and phrases that I've never heard in my entire life. All right. You need to explain what these things are. When you say thoughts on some new word or person who I've never heard of, you need to explain. Because I don't know what you're talking about. Southpaw says, thoughts on carnivore diet for masculinity and virility. I think the only purpose of a carnivore diet is to die of a heart attack. It serves no other purpose. Why haven't you been interested in wearing the blue guitar shirt lately? Because I just haven't. Sip says, thank you for being muscular and vascular. There we go. Nico says, thoughts on recomping using a slight calorie deficit and an intermediate advanced lifter. My worry has been cutting down, is just losing some of my strength I've built up over the years. Just cut slow, you can recomp. Omi, no, not fully. I want to grow the beard anyways. No, I'm not able to fully control the psoriasis at this time, but I'm going to try anyways. Geronimo, message me. I don't give you my phone number. I use an email for Zelle. It's not even tied to a phone number. Coach, you look ripe, ready for the picking. You're lean and mean. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Marco says, I hit a PR after having only 4 hours of sleep. I feel like complete shit and had to force myself to train. But during training, I still managed to hit a PR. How is that possible? It doesn't hit you for the first day. Lots of guys hit PRs on a bad night of sleep. I've discussed this with clients all the time. It's going to hit you tomorrow. Can we get a tricep shot, Lee Freestyle? No, I haven't practiced. I'm not good at tricep flexes. Just says, Coach, your opinion on thrusts. You're going to have to be more specific. Thrust is a very random word. Eb, that's a personal thing, man. I don't know, dude. If you want to pay for it, that's your own business. My back says, do you ever train with the bros in the garage gym? No, my bros generally don't train in my gym. I help one of my bros at his home gym sometimes, and I'm over there. Do you think Leo and longevity was an unlucky accident? What do you mean? Geronimo, that's kind of weird, but whatever, dude. Nico says, I'm okay, slowly would like to be a 300 to 500 deficit. That's not a small deficit, man. That's a 500 deficit is pretty big. That's a serious cut. I'm assuming a small deficit like losing a pound a month. Hip thrust is an accessory to squats. Yeah, perfectly fine. I mean, no, I don't get food cravings. I eat very, very large amounts of high satiety food, keeps my cravings in check, combined with the fasting. What skill is required to flex a tricep? I don't know. Like, I need to actually look at the pose and figure out what I need to do it. I mean, otherwise it's just, what am I doing this? I mean, I don't know. You know, sorry. Will you ever hire a posing coach? Well, I'm not competing in bodybuilding, so probably not. What did Dixon ask? He has Meniere's, so it's hard. Well, I don't know how that affects it. Satnav says, do you recommend taking citrulline malate? No, I don't think it's useful. Eugene, you need to learn to eyeball your food and know what's in it, or take food with you. It's pretty straightforward, man. Do you offer internship for the coaching? No, I mean, if you're a full client of mine, I'll give you coaching advice, but I'm not gonna. We don't do an internship. Let me be 100% clear. No one will ever have access to my clients but me. Period. Not going to happen. If you're coaching them, if you're an employee of mine and I build a larger business, they'll be your clients. You don't get my clients. No, I don't offer internships, guys. But if you are a full client and you happen to be a trainer or a coach, yes, I give lots of advice in that regard. I even have some of them send me, hey, this is something one of my clients is doing. Can you look at it for me? I've done lots of that. I don't mind giving advice and helping in that regard. But like, no, I'm not. You're not going to be like an intern. You're not going to have access to my coaching or my clients. That would never happen. Okay. Why does Dr. Mike sell tempo work like slow negative so much? No, I can't see any evidence. You will have to ask Mike why he does so. Favorite fragrances for fall and winter? What do you mean? I don't understand. Fragrances like perfume. Are Texans polite when they answer the door? I'm not. If I didn't give anyone permission to show up at my house, why are they knocking at my door? All right. Nico says, well, do you think utilizing a high carbohydrate while in a 500 deficit range can help mitigate the strength of performance loss? Yeah, but I mean, a 500 is a big deficit. James says, do you like cologne? I don't think I've bought cologne in over 20 years. Wad says, are you Jewish by chance? No, I'm not. Have you smelled Dior Sauvage? Nope, don't even know what that is. Lyle McDonald and Paul Carter hate Mike Israel. They say he sells stuff that is trendy rather than true evidence based. Maybe a degree of truth to that. I know you've been pushing the high carb a lot, which can be useful. Yeah, all coaches and athletes push fairly high carb, like reasonable coaches do, right? Eb, I haven't bought cologne since I was like 19 years old, to be honest. Yeah, my back. Door-to-door salesmen are not supposed to be showing up at people's houses. It's rude. They're not supposed to be in my neighborhood. Jerome, I don't know if you understand what the word no means. No means no. That's it. Drop it. I'm not going to take on interns. Do you ever use slower negatives for your clients? I used to use controlled negatives. I would never have people do really slow negatives intentionally. Why do you even lift IRLs always testing me? What? I don't know what that means. What do you mean testing you? Why is this so you don't shower? I use soap in the shower. Okay, when I take a shower, I use hot water and soap. What are your thoughts on glucose spikes? Are they cause for concern? Nope. Right? Yeah, exactly, Dixon. I mean, I'm not going to let him be no intern. He can hire me to be his coach. Eugene says, what cologne did you buy 20 years ago? I don't know. I have no idea. Stetson or something. I don't know. If I had to try to guess, whatever. No, why are you guys worried about glucose spikes? I mean, what are you eating? Are you not eating high fiber foods? Are you guys drinking pure sugar while fasted? What are you doing? Do you not have good insulin sensitivity? Do you guys not lift weights? Do you use sunscreen on the chrome dome? No. All right. I feel like you guys don't care about lifting. Y'all spend so much time worried about cologne and silly ass shit. Here, I thought I was running a strength channel. Sunscreen, cologne. What the fuck? I want to talk about some deadlifts. Yeah, but my back, they're asking me about stuff I don't know or care about. I don't know a damn thing about cologne. I couldn't name 5 brands of cologne if there was a gun to my head. Couldn't do it. Yeah, homie, what are you dreading? If you need to go to your doctor, go to your doctor. James says, do you think there's any mental downside or benefit to training in a facility where you're the strongest person? But now, if you're going to train around other people, you don't want to be the strongest person. When someone is stuck at a weight as a solution, no, is to keep training, get your programming dialed in, and gain muscle, and it will eventually be resolved. It may take a long time. Is it better to be love motivated than motivated by fear? Yeah, I think so. Coach, how much of the current live stream audience looks like they look? My guess is 30%. I don't know. Sip says, I'm always testing boundaries, like try to man me up or shit. I noticed some recently when I started going out again. Last time I went out, I was 19. Now I'm 24 at 6'3", 240 security, is always chatting and a good sport. Quit going to bars, man. That's the problem. Sober people are not going to do that when you're a big guy. It's only drunk guys. You're hanging out in bars. That's why you have the problem. Any thoughts on Ben Pollock's training style? Ben's a strong dude. I mean, how are you going to find flaws with someone's training style who is crazy jacked and insanely strong with low injuries? I mean, do you think training with a fat bar using fat grips can benefit the average lifter? Yeah, it can help build forearms. Eugene, I'm more of a love motivated person. Here's something I've been Googling. How long after lifting until you start to detrain? About 10 days, 10 to 14 days. Nico says, thoughts on current state of equipped lifting. Every influencer nowadays is wrapped up like a mummy, straps, over wraps, sleeves, belt, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's nonsense. Fake lifts, dude. Fake lifts. What happened to just getting under a heavy weight and lifting it? Exactly. Who's Alex Leonidas? Well, I'm not going to go into all that if you don't know. Eugene, I've already kind of answered that. Why would you want to be fear motivated? So if I bench every 10 days, I'd still hypothetically make progress. Yeah, in theory. I missed the Strong AF podcast. Yeah, they were all right. I'm completely against equipped coach and take raw seriously. Yeah, I'm pro raw lifting. James says, I have about a 12 to 1300 total, which is not much, but by commercial gym standards, many people find it impressive. Yeah, you need to find a more serious gym. But yeah, in a commercial gym, you're going to be God tier. Benny says, Coach, that Bromley guy that dissed you said pull-ups are overrated. I don't think he can even do a pull-up. He is pretty overweight. Well, that might be why he did it. Jerome, I haven't had a drink in 4.5 years. I'm not going to go into all the details as to why I quit. I think everyone should quit drinking. It'd be better for them. What is your favorite lift for thicker calves? Any sort of standing calf raise. Sip says, how to get over the temptation to get on gear. I don't know, man. That's a personal thing you're going to have to figure out. I'm not going to answer questions about, I'm trying to not start fights. I'm not going to answer questions about the natural thing or if his lifts are voided. Let's just leave all that alone. Let him be strong. Let him be jacked. Okay. Marco says, high bar versus low bar squats. Does it really matter? Is it just based on preferences? I mean, kind of what you want to build, preferences, leverages, what you're trying to do. I mean, it matters. It absolutely matters. Eugene, I'm not going to answer questions like that here. The answer to that question is to hire me as your coach. Zachary says, have you been to any hardcore gyms in Texas? Yes. When you train to failure, do you get the same number of reps each set? Usually, sometimes I lose one, but not always. Dude, your forearm vascularity is insane. Yep, it's coming along. Why, do you mean with, or do I coach them? I coach them. I don't train with people generally these days. If you could give one piece of training advice to yourself 20 years ago, what would you say? I don't know. Are you a love coach as well? What do you mean? No, I'm a strength coach, dude. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I get people jacked and strong. That's what I do. I see jack guys only training machines, which is odd. They're usually probably on tons of gear. Do you think naps are essential for those who heavy workouts or 8 hours of sleep enough? Well, sometimes naps are essential. Holidays are coming up. Do you travel for Thanksgiving or do you host? So you're asking me if my house is going to be vacant or not on Thanksgiving when I have stalkers. See the problem with personal questions? So you're asking me to answer if people should break into my house on Thanksgiving or not is essentially what you're asking. Because that's how my stalkers will hear the question. Is alcohol more damageful than weed? Yes. I thought you said your advice to your younger coach would be to train biceps more. Yeah, but I've made a whole video on that, like me jumping on the fly and doing that. Zachary, I'm just going to skip that. All right. Yarn says, hey, mate, I'm experiencing elbow forearm pain in daily life and full extension flexion. YouTube didn't help. Nothing helps until I did rack pulls, holds. Any ideas on why this worked? Can't find info. Nope, no idea. Benny Watt says, I'm going to get my deadlift back to 500. Last time I deadlifted, I got 4 or 5 or 8. Should I just do maxes? Eugene, do you have any advice on how a man can lower the risk of prostate cancer? Eat a healthy diet. Keep your insulin sensitivity high. Don't eat carcinogenic food. Yeah, my back, it really is that like that. Yeah, it's not like a joke. It's not me playing around. Yes, they are that serious. Jim says, what's your advice for guys who want to increase both size and vascularity of their muscles? Do you recommend bulking? You can recomp and get there. Can I lift with a bulging disc? Plenty of people do. How much volume are you doing for your arms? You see my vlogs every single week. I do, in addition to my pushing and pulling, I do 6 sets for biceps, 6 sets for triceps, 3 extra sets for forearms. All right. James says deadlifting 405 for 8 means you could probably lift 500 for 1 at least, probably pretty close. Rosie says, hello, Jason, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Any thoughts on Brian Shaw's home gym? I would assume it's pretty good. I don't know offhand what it looks like. I do forearms every night. Oh, man, we don't need to know that. Does upper back rounding in the deadlift lead to cryptosis? No. Nope. Nope. It's nothing to do with your training. That condition is not dependent upon your training in the gym. All right. Yeah, Jerome, I'm not going to go into all the details on that. I don't think, oh gosh. I seen Brahmi's newest video on KK, very cool. Nope. Yes, peppermint, we realize that. I think being at a desk all day is probably worse for your back. Yeah, potentially so. Potentially so. Jason, program touch and go bench? Not really. Generally not. Forearm training is a must for a clear mind. Jason, recommend you up your forearm. Why? I'm doing forearm work now, and they're coming along. Why do you have so many trolls? Who knows at this point? Eugene, have you ever visited? Yes, I have. Both of those places. All right. But again, why are you asking me about my personal life, man? I mean, let's talk about it. Why do people become haters and trolls? What does it say about them and how they feel about you? What exercise did more for your physique, deadlift or squats? I don't know. I'm not sure. Coach, you think it's fair that some boxers rehydrate to 25 pounds after weigh-ins? Why wouldn't it be? It's part of all sports. All weight class sports do this. Yarn says, looking great, by the way, Jason. Any home gym equipment you consider underrated, whether or not it's something you own? I don't know. I mean, how do we define underrated? Because I don't know what's considered underrated. Clip says flat and incline are working. Weight, how does that happen? Are my shoulders that stronger as my bench technique? Working. I don't understand the question, sorry. No, I'm not trying. Jerome, no, I'm not coming to your place. Quit being weird. Do you shave your body or full wax? I use Nair. My back, I'm not going to answer those questions because that's a point of situation with my stocking. Peppermint Freedom, Coach, does deadlift actually work for aesthetics? Sure. Coach, should I look into Warhammer? Is it too addictive? Why would you think Warhammer is addictive? That seems kind of strange. Jim, does eating a whole food diet help me with my item? Probably. Eugene, to visit Florida, obviously. That's not even, is that a serious question? Marco says, best incline bench angle for upper chest, 30 or 40. I like 45. Oh, well, yeah, maybe Spencer, go research it a bit then. I don't see why you would think it's addictive. That just seems like a really strange question. Like I don't understand your train of thought there. Coach, do you like anime? And if yes, what's your favorite anime? No, I've been late before. All right. Wolf says, a friend of mine is seeing this girl from another state, and he seems to have a pretty sissified, seems like. Jesus Christ, dude. You're kind of weird too, dude. Coach, what do you eat for snacks whenever you're hungry through the day? Usually a protein shake. Sip says, bro, if Superman plays Warhammer, you can't slam it, right? Spencer, you're confusing MMOs with tabletop games where you paint and do strategy. Think of it as chess. Think of Warhammer as a big chess game, but you get to paint the models. Okay. That's not like the same dopamine and grind that people get from online MMOs. It's not even remotely similar in any way. Have you been working on any new tunes? Trying to mess a little bit with a whole lot of Rosie. Coach, what's your take on how best to increase blood flow to fatigue muscles? All right. So what are you working on? I'll do a quick little guitar before we wind it down. All right. So here's what we're working on a little bit. So that's what we'd be working on right now. All right. Well, Geronimo, you need to put in an application. All right. Yarn says, regarding home gym gear, I guess if you were putting your home gym together again from scratch, were those essentials like barbell, good rack, good bench, some dumbbells, reverse hypers, right? Definitely all good stuff. Bubby says, Coach, would barbell shrugs work after dids? Yeah, if you need more upper trap, they can be useful. Sip says, could that leg activation on flat bench because of it being the same strength as my incline? No, you probably have weak pecs. Geronimo, that's a weird question. Peppermint. No, I don't really have to deal with that now. All right. What else we got going? Kind of getting tired. I think I'm about to wind this down. We're about to wind this down. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll give you guys a forum shot before we go again. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.